Hello and Hello and welcome back to the Back Post. It's just me today. There's no Jay. I would have thought you'd have heard from Jay after that Chelsea loss in the FA Cup final, but where are you, Jay? Where are you hiding? You didn't post anything after that. No, it was a close game. Obviously, again losing on penalties to Liverpool. Liverpool should have been 3 up in the first half. Chelsea could have scored a couple in the second. It was a good game, but it wasn't to be. And then we watched Eurovision. That was the highlight of my Saturday. But what we're really here to talk about today is Tottenham Arsenal. Jay's not here. I've got a bit of license to Tottenham the podcast up a little bit, and I feel like with the week that we've just had, that is deserved. I didn't make a video after the North London derby because it felt premature. It was such an important week to do what we did at home against Arsenal. Yes, I have people saying, I'm sure I will get a comment in this video saying that Spurs got lucky with the holding sending off and the Burnley handball wasn't a penalty. You know what? Fair enough. Well, not for the sending off, actually. But for the penalty, fair enough. But not for the sending off. Honestly, full disclosure, a few beers in at the pub, I could not tell you why exactly this penalty was given. Looking back, I understand, but also would understand why you'd be aggrieved, as well as the 40 Arsenal fans in the pub with me who came over to me and made their feelings very clear on the night. But let me be very clear on one thing. I do not care. Come on, you Spurs. But this is football, and we have had our fair share of ridiculous decisions against us, and I'm not going to sit here and go Tottenham shouldn't have this. I mean, there's an argument to say none of these teams deserve top four, even Chelsea to an extent with the past month they've had. But if the teams want to play hot potato with the top four, if Tottenham get left with the potato at the end, then I'm happy with that. No, so back to the North London derby. Really good game. I was very drunk. I'm trying not to drink at the moment, and I let that one go a bit. To come out quite nervy, I thought. At the start of that game, I wasn't happy. I felt like we were scared. I felt like we weren't progressing the ball. I felt like we were letting Arsenal come on to us. But looking back at that game, I think I realised that was always the plan. You to give Arsenal the impetus to go, hang on a minute, we can get at them. Let's go. And we riled Arsenal up. All they had to do was not lose that game, keep a cool head, sit men behind the ball, break, not concede. And they smelt blood, I think. It felt like Arsenal felt like they were the inferior team, and they came for us. And that way Tottenham, which really surprised me, played that relaxing card, really just chilled out and just hit them and hit them a third time for 3-0. And Arsenal really did implode. And that was a great night. But it meant nothing if Arsenal could pull out results in their next two games. At home, away to Newcastle, and at home to Everton. And I really thought that was the Tottenham thing that was going to happen. To get this great result, have that moment, the biggest win against Arsenal in the Premier League era. And it at the end of the day, kind of mean nothing. But it didn't. Tottenham beat Burnley. There's not much to say about that. People will have complaints about that handball. I agree. I'd be annoyed, but I've seen, last season Lascelles head it into the back of Dyer's shoulder and we get given a penalty. I've seen a Champions League final be not taken from us, we probably would have lost anyway, with a shouldered handball from Sissoko. So forgive me if I'm not particularly annoyed that Ashley Barnes got his arm in, quite frankly, a ridiculous position and the ball hits it. I'm not going to key-own this and think there's a big conspiracy where it allows Tottenham. Anyway, Nick Pope had an absolutely fantastic game against us, so it could have been more, and I think we were the deserved winners, if not the winner coming from a slightly controversial standpoint. I think that's fair to say. But we did it. We beat Burnley. It was horrible. It was nervy. I was really busy at work, and I didn't really manage to catch a lot of it, but we got through it. Ball's in Arsenal's court now. They have to beat Newcastle. A Newcastle that are buoyant, but a Newcastle that, man for man, do not have the quality Arsenal have. Bruno Guimaraes, I think, is seems like a phenomenal signing. St Maximin is a terrifying player with no end product. Arsenal have the front, is it 5 available? Nikita at the top, Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe and Martinelli. So Martinelli wasn't starting, but the other 4 were. That attack that's supposed to be so promising and so exciting for Arsenal, and it is still promising, I know, but they're young, and when you don't have, you sell Aubameyang and Lacazette is awful, then who guides those? You'd take, hot take, and that would be very interesting to... Let's say you could sign either Son or Kane or Arsenal's front 5 that I just mentioned of Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Nikita, or Son and Kane. Who are you signing? Because I know who I'm picking, but I admit I'm biased. I'll be very curious to see if I'm just an arsehole in the comments there. But no, essentially Arsenal, I watched this game and Arsenal were just beyond outplayed. Every time I looked over at the screen, it was a Newcastle attack. It was just a bombardment. At one point, the possession was 79% to Newcastle. I think towards the second half, it dropped to 70%, but Newcastle dominated possession. They had shot after shot, not a lot on target, but just kept marauding on that Arsenal goal. And I loved every minute of it. Callum Wilson could have scored the goal of the season, very reminiscent of when Suarez did it against Norwich. Takes the ball down on the halfway line, spins and just hits it. And Ramsdale's beaten, and that shot wisps past the post. And it could have been 3-4-0 to Newcastle. At the end, there was a golden opportunity for Newcastle to score again. It was just a breakdown. And hopefully, this now means Champions League is secured. Touch wood. We have to avoid defeat to Norwich. That's all we have to do. Avoid defeat to Norwich. Now, if you're a Tottenham fan watching this, you know that's not quite as simple as it sounds. You do have fever dreams in the night of Timo Pukki running off, celebrating, and Conte sat with his arms folded, sending his CV to PSG. But at the start of the season, if you could say a result against Norwich guarantees you Champions League football, I think I'd take that. And for Arsenal to let this slip in the way they have is magnificent. But it's not done yet. They have supremely bottled it. And that's coming from a Tottenham fan. But it's not done yet. So let's beat Norwich. Let's hope Everton, have a slither of something to play for. Or a celebrating, a party atmosphere of safety against Arsenal. And hopefully this has impacts for the future. A player deciding between the two clubs, Arteta Europa, Conte Champions League, will possibly just edge towards us, just edge to that side of North London. And I'm excited. I think this is big. I think this is really big. I think it creates, obviously it gives us that financial edge, it gives us a prestige edge, the new stadium with Champions League football. I mean, Conte actually has an awful record in the Champions League, but it doesn't matter now. There's no point thinking about that now. I'm excited, and I really hope we don't fuck this from here. But you never know. Come on, you Spurs. I've spoken for quite a while, but I guess I just want to end this by talking about the relegation battle, because much in the way that no one deserves top 4 this season, apart from Liverpool and City, can we relegate 5 teams? I cannot remember seeing a relegation battle with teams of such quality. Rafinha, Rodrigo, Calvin Phillips. I know there's been injuries for Leeds, but, a Leeds squad that have exciting players, brilliant players. Maybe not brilliant, maybe that's a stretch. Everton players, Townsend, Keane, Decore, Allen, England's number 1. Players that are good and just no fight, no guts. what they're showing against Brentford yesterday. I know they've got injuries, but Braithwaite, you have 2 games to 3 games to ensure your survival, and you have to play Braithwaite. Rodon coming on and just getting sent off. Burnley, they've put some fight up. Okay, they deserve it. Elliot, don't shout at me. Burnley showed enough fight to deserve to stay up. But Norwich, Watford, 4 teams need to go down this season. Don't have the Championship playoff final. Send them both up. Relegate 4 teams from the league this season, because genuinely not a single one of those teams deserve to stay up. And one of them will have bewildering celebration of how they've managed to survive this season. But as long as they remember, they don't deserve it. And I'm not sure how any of the managers, apart from maybe Michael Jackson, keeps their job at the end of this season for those bottom 4 clubs. 5 clubs, if you count Mike Jackson. I said Michael Jackson, didn't I? It's Mike. Anyway, that's all from me now, because it's weird not speaking to Jay, and it's just my voice, and I don't like it. So we're going to go. Come on, Spurs. Come on, Burnley. Fucking do it, Burnley. And hopefully we'll hear from us both soon. But as always, tell your dad, and have a great Tuesday, because it's a Tuesday today.